Greetings and a happy Law Day, one and all, and to our Polish friends, happy Polish Constitution Day. This is my final President's message before I hand over the reins to Mary Colleen Roberts on May 31st. My final guest is my friend Ron Spears, who served as the co-chair this year to both our travel committee and as co-chair for the Springfield event that's coming up on May the 9th. So Ron's been very busy and very helpful to me this year. Ron is from Taylorville, and he also served as president of the Illinois Judges Association, I think 2009 and 2010, and as the resident circuit judge of Christian County in the Fourth Judicial Circuit from 1993 to 2015. So very happy to have Ron here, and I want to start off, Ron. We just got back from a wonderful trip to Poland. There were 40 or so of us from the IJA and with our guests as well. And it was a memorable week that we had together. What are your memories from the trip to Poland that you'd like to share with everyone?
Sure. Well, the idea of group travel with judges and retired judges is a fantastic idea. And especially when you have people that have special interests in certain countries, like we had with Justina and Mike, really poured their hearts into the trip and into all of us that participated. Your theme this year was judicial independence, and I think what really struck me listening to the judges that we met with in Poland is that this was a country that has fought for its independence and its liberty and its freedom over and over and over again, consistently does. And because of their location in the world, they're always on fear that one of their neighbors can come in again and do something with that freedom. So the judges were very proud of the fact that they're doing what they can to establish judicial independence. We've got like 195 countries in the world, and everyone's trying to have a judicial system, a government system, a political system, an economic system. And so as we get to travel the world, we get to see how their experiments are doing. And, I was very impressed with Poland with their, first of all, what's not to like in every place you go, right? You have great people, great history, great sights, and not least, great food. And we experienced all of those things in Poland, had a great mix of meeting with officials, plus having time for sightseeing and experiencing the people and the culture and the fun of Poland. So so they're all the good. A highlight of the things that really struck you, of course, is when we visited Auschwitz and became aware of the camps that they had in Poland and the number of Jewish people that were in Poland as a basis for some of the reasons they located these camps there, because it was a place where a lot of the populations that they were seeking to exterminate were located. And it was so, the experience you just can't really tell somebody about, is to stand in these grounds and to understand the inhumanity that was going on. And I think it tells us just how important a rule of law is, a democracy is, freedom and liberty is, and how we have to be on protection of those things all the time, because in a fairly brief time, Poland gets caught between two powers. They get caught between German invasion on the one hand and the Hitler regime, and then the Russian invasion from the other direction and the Stalin communism. And so for years they were constantly fighting, these various pressures on their country. So, it's hard to pick highlights because every day was a highlight, every adventure was a highlight, but it was a great experience. And I certainly hope the IJA will continue to do this with groups in the future.
I do too. And, one of the meetings we had was with the mayor of Rzeszów, and that was a very emotional time. And Rzeszów is 10, 20 miles away from the Ukrainian border, and they've, Poland's taken in hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian refugees, and the war is very real to them. And the fight for democracy is very real for them. And we learned that from our meeting with different judges and justices of the Polish Supreme Court, for example. And I've read plenty about Auschwitz, but until you're there, it's to see what happens when people are dehumanized, a whole group of people or groups of people, and how evil can is allowed to reign. It's anyway, it's very sobering, and it's a warning to each of us now and in the future.
Absolutely. Yes, the court system, it's funny how everybody does it a little different. Everybody does it in a way that they think is correct. And so one of the experiences we had was they deal with jurors much differently than we do, for example. They don't have a jury system like we do. They have jurors that they can call in on particular cases to be a help to the court, but it's not like our system. And several other ways they have life. They don't have elections of judges. Their judges do not have political parties. And they have a school that you can go to after law school to train to be a judge, which I thought was interesting. And so there's a lot of things that they do differently. Each person can judge whether it's better or worse than what we do, but it's different, and they're achieving results that they think are good for their people. And it's good to be informed about them.
It absolutely was. So what a wonderful experience we got to share together. Now, you are also co-chair, as I mentioned, of the May 9th Springfield event on judicial independence, which is coming up next Thursday. What are you looking forward to on that day?
Sure. Well, first of all, I got to give John Cody and his team, the credit. I go to Poland with you, and they're all back here working hard to get the event done. But there's a couple of things about that. There's one advantage of being an older person, Justice, and that's some of the events that you hear about. Some people, it's history to them, but to you, it's live because you were alive at the time. And one of the real featured events are going to be Terry Hake talking about the Gray Lord investigation. The threats to judicial independence can come from outside, but they can also come from inside. And it's really hard for us as judges today to believe that ever happened. But I was alive. I came on the bench, a short time, maybe 10 years after that took place. I was a practicing lawyer at the time that investigation took place. And those of us from downstate are particularly proud of Brockton Lockwood. Some of the judges now probably have no comprehension that downstate judges for many years rotated to Chicago, and each circuit actually staffed a courtroom in the Daly Center in Chicago, 50 weeks a year, 52 weeks a year, whatever we want to say. And a lot of us really enjoyed going up there for periods of time. Well, it happened that one of the justices that was up there in the 80s was Brockton Lockwood. And, I don't know all the details. We're going to learn from Terry Hake, but essentially what he discovered was ripe with corruption, bribes being exchanged, money passed through clerks to judges for fixing tickets and even more serious events. And as the story goes, Brockton went, when he became aware of this, he went to the FBI and began cooperating as an undercover person in this investigation. Terry Hake, I think, was with the state's attorney's office, and then he went into private practice, all under the authority of the FBI to do the investigation. The investigation took place over 3 years. The Operation Greylord was from the wigs that the British judges wear, I guess, the Greylord part. And 17 judges were indicted. 15 were convicted during that. I think there were 92 or 93 indictments overall, 48 lawyers in addition to the judges, 8 police, 10 deputy sheriffs, 8 court officials, 1 legislator from this lengthy investigation. All of us that are on the bench now, horrified about the idea of that. But I think that it's just like in many things, Justice, if a practice begins and it's tolerated by those in the environment, and they get a sense that everybody's doing it, this corruption can come into play. So Terry Hake is going to be a speaker. He was very involved in the process. He's going to be there with us to talk about the Gray Lord, which is something that every judge, every active judge, should be aware of what can happen. It wasn't something that happened in the 1800s. It's something that happened in the 1980s. So very important. Mark Vandewiley is also going to be speaking in the morning. Mark has a passion for judicial benefits, pensions, and so forth. Carefully monitors legislation and those things. Is an invaluable source to judges on all those important things to us, to the active judges in the future, and to the retired judges for us now, right? And so, as we always say, it's not the right to the pension that's important, it's the receipt of the pension that's important. And so he'll talk about that. And then in the afternoon, John Lupton, who's great. He's with the Illinois Supreme Court Historical Preservation. He's going to talk to us about judicial independence. It's just going to be a great day. We have a large number of judges coming. Very happy of the number that are coming. And so it's going to be great to get together with everybody for a morning session, an afternoon session, and then a barbecue. So it's just going to be a great day. And Judge Cody and his team have really put together a series of great events. I think everybody's going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And we've got capacity crowds at each event. And so I appreciate John and you, the whole team, and looking forward to that event and seeing quite a few of you there on May the 9th. It'll be a great day. The first IJ event I ever attended was a year or two before I became a judge at the mid-year ISBA IJ meeting in Chicago. And they used to have something on Friday morning. It was Run with the Judges. And I thought it was open to anybody, and I guess it was. But I show up, and everyone else is a judge. I'm practicing attorney at that point. And Justice Seymour Simon used to host it, and I got to meet him then. But I remember walking back from that run. I believe it was the Chicago Athletic Club, back to the Sheraton, and I walked back with you, Ron. And I think that's the first time we met. And you've been an inspiration to me, throughout my judicial career, and then also in preparing, and you along with John Cody too. And I had him as a guest last week in preparation and for my year as IJ president and in the execution this year. So thank you for everything, Ron.
Oh, absolutely. We're proud of you and proud of what you've accomplished in the IJ and also on the bench. We're very proud of having been judges. We consider ourselves as that's a pinnacle of our profession, is to be a judge. It's such an important job, and to have judicial independence and to go on that bench every day and do your very best for the people, knowing that you're a protector of freedom and liberty. That's more than just a cliche. That's the absolute truth. And so, very proud of our association. It's done some amazing things for judges over the years, financially and benefit-wise. I think it's very important for every judge to continue to support the Illinois Judges Association, to become involved in their activities. And so, it's just a great group of people, and to take trips together and to do CLE together. It's just been a great opportunity for all of us. Old judges don't go away. We're just fading away, I guess. Some of us have gone into mediation, other things, because we just can't stay out of the arena. But we watch, the active judges. We know the stresses that they're going through. We know the difficult times that we're in, and especially since COVID and all those things that the judiciary has gone through. And so, we're big fans of the court system. We're big fans of the judges. And anything the retired judges can do to be of help, including going on nice trips and eating food and fellowshipping with current judges, would be happy to do it.
Well said, Ron. And I know all of us are grateful to be able to serve the public and the judiciary, and to be a part of the Illinois Judges Association. And I want to thank all of our members and those who have served on the boards and committees this year to further the work of the IJA in serving our communities and each other. I appreciate all of you, and I wish, I want to personally thank all of you through this message for your service. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time as president of the Illinois Judges Association, and I hope your IJ year has been rewarding in some fashion as well. And I look forward to the future of the IJA under the leadership of Mary Colleen Roberts. My best to one and all.